Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Be More podcast, where we inspire you to be more of every role within the Salesforce ecosystem and beyond. For today's episode, we are exploring what it means to be more Marketing Cloud on core. And I'm joined today by François. So if you could start by introducing yourself for our audience, please.
Yes. My background, I used to be an IT engineer and I created a telco in French, which I've been the CDO of for many years. So I'm a very technical person. But when the company was sold, I decided I'd like to make some marketing and some digital marketing, of course. So I've created an agency, a digital agency, which later on became a Salesforce partner. Um, and so to introduce myself, I am both an IT engineer and a marketer and a consultant. I think it's a good picture.
Okay. Awesome. So it sounds like a number of different roles all in one, which is
Yeah,
great. And thinking about now Marketing Cloud on Core, and perhaps let's start the conversation by, if you may, describing what that actually means, what that actually entails,
yeah,
and perhaps a glimpse of the technology underneath.
yeah, sure. Well, in the past, there used to be Exact Target and Pardot. Exact Target was renamed for a time Marketing Cloud, then Marketing Cloud Engagement, and Pardot was renamed Marketing Cloud Account Engagement. One is much dedicated to B2C and the other one to B2B. And then, let's say, 1 year and a half was introduced Marketing Cloud Encore, which is a complete rewriting of the marketing automation platform, which no longer has its own data model because the data model is based on Data Cloud. Everything is stored inside Data Cloud, the profile, the engagement information, everything flows inside Data Cloud. And then Marketing Cloud on Core is just a Lightning app using with builders using Data Cloud information, and the automation are made with those good old flows inside Salesforce, which has been quite a bit revamped to be marketing flows and not admin flows. So there are some things you cannot do. For instance, as of today, there is no variables, but they may be introduced in further releases.
Right.
And so this is what it is. Basically, this is Salesforce completely rewriting a new platform quite out of the blue,
Mm,
based on Data Cloud and using flows to automate this. And of course, this overlaps a bit what used to be made using Pardot and what used to be made using Marketing Cloud Engagement.
yeah. Okay. Awesome. And thinking about that now, but perhaps diving a little bit deeper underneath that. So from what I know, and I'm curious about this in particular, like there are some concepts that transfer directly over from Pardot to Marketing Cloud Growth or that are similar. So, for example, both systems have a concept of a score. Marketing Cloud Growth just does it slightly differently to what Pardot does it. And obviously, they have a concept of consent
Yeah,
as well, which is really important. So, perhaps maybe let's explore or discuss like the differences between the
yeah.
two to help people understand. Yeah.
Sure. Well, as you may know, I'm more a Pardot guy than a Marketing Cloud engagement guy. So I will talk about the
Me too.
difference, yeah, of the consent between and the opt-in between Marketing Cloud account engagement and Marketing Cloud on core, and then we'll go to the score and the calculated insights. In Pardot, you have mailability fields. You have the opted out field. You have the do not email field, the one which generally is controlled by Salesforce, and you have the hard bounces. None of this exists in the consent management inside Marketing Cloud on Core. It is more like what we have in Preferences Center, which is called public list, which is the
Mhm.
only type of list from which you can opt in or opt out inside Marketing Cloud account engagement. And so in Marketing Cloud on Core, everything is a subscription. And you can create many subscriptions as you want. And one given subscription may be related to one or more channels, a channel being email, SMS, and WhatsApp as of now. So you can create as many consent as you want, as many subscription as you want, and then the user can be opt-in or opt-out for a given subscription. In Pardot, you have global mailability field. I can send this email to that person or not, or if I use the specific publish list, I will be able to send a communication to that specific user. So completely different animals. In Marketing Cloud on Core, as of now, consent, the big issue about consent is related to person account.
Right.
Because person accounts are primarily accounts, but everything about consent is related to the email itself and is stored inside Data Cloud. So it's quite hard to handle this because when you have the consent management inside Marketing Cloud on Core, you can say, I want this specific lead or contact to be opted out or opted out or opted in or opt-in for this specific subscription. But this is not available inside the person accounts. I'm currently trying to find a way of automating the transfer of opt-in prospect from a given public list inside Pardot to a corresponding subscription inside Marketing Cloud on Core, because for now, there is no Marketing Cloud on Core API. You just have the Salesforce API, as this is on Core, so there is no specific APIs. So you stick with importing a file or doing this using Flow. So my idea is to try to automate this so that whenever you have Marketing Cloud account engagement, all your leads and contacts are automatically given the right consent and the same consents as the one you may have inside Pardot. So this is basically something I'm working on. And the same is true for the identity themselves. In Pardot, you have unassigned prospects, and if the prospect is assigned, it may be a lead or a contact or a person account. Well, those unassigned prospects are only in Pardot as of now. They do not exist inside Salesforce, and so they do not exist inside Data Cloud and are not visible for Marketing Cloud on Core. So what's been introduced, and this has been quite silent, but what's been introduced is a new object called prospect, which is a standard Salesforce object, which you can convert to a lead. But as of today, an unassigned prospect inside Pardot is not mapped to that new specific record inside the prospect object. And maybe it's something which will come. Maybe it's something we should do by hand. But if you remember, because I know you've been there for a long time, if you remember the debate about should we keep leads, should we just go with contacts, introducing step before with the prospect is something which is which must be seen as a strong sign of evolvement. So you have the prospects, you have the leads, you have the contacts, and I'd like to make the exact same structure that is assign everyone not to a lead but to a prospect when they used to be unassigned inside Pardot. So you have your unassigned prospect mapped to, well, they actually would be assigned. Well, they wouldn't be assigned because there is no owner ID. This is a specific object in the prospect where you don't have to have an owner ID for the record. So you can create prospects.
Right.
And they wouldn't be assigned to a given sales rep. At the end of the day, they will be assigned to somewhere, or to someone, but not a sales rep or a lead queue as you may find in the, or active assignment rule as you may find inside Pardot. So basically, I think consent and identity can be easily transferred. Well, not easily, but could be transferred, even though they are completely different animals as it pertains to consent. So that is very important. And because I'm talking a lot, I've lost the second thing. You were talking about the consent.
Scoring.
What was the other one?
Scoring.
Scoring, yeah. So in Pardot, you have scores, you have sub-scores called category scoring, and they are based on an overall grid of, well, email open is 0 point, an opportunity created is 100 points, and so on. Everything is mapped inside a matrix. Well, Data Cloud introduces something which is much more powerful, which are called the calculated insights. That is, from the customer's 360 of every information you have inside Data Cloud, you can create computed or calculated information related to a unified individual. And this is exactly how the scoring works inside Marketing Cloud on Core. There's just a little interface which allows you to say, well, email open is 3 points and so on. And then there is a huge SQL query which creates the calculated insight, which will be the exact counterpart as what you may find inside Pardot. But what's really important is that you can create your own. And by default, it's calculated related to a unified individual, and all the engagement comes from the engagement of composing individuals. But you may rewrite this the way you like, and you can create, for instance, customer lifetime value very easily using the specific feature. So I do believe that scoring is out of the box. It relies on calculated insight, but calculated insights can be much more powerful inside Data Cloud because you can compute whatever you want and then display it at the lead or at the contact level.
Yeah, and my understanding is obviously within Pardot you have an account engagement score, and within Marketing Cloud I think you have a marketing fit and a marketing engagement score. So slightly different, but similar concepts, right?
Not really, because you're right. You have the score and you have the fit, but basically the fit is the same thing as what we find in Pardot called the grading. It's very simple. It's just a set of criteria. And let's be honest, grading in Pardot is quite a strange thing.
Well, it is for us Europeans. It's a very American thing, isn't it?
Maybe. Yeah. You're right about this. But for instance, I don't know if you noticed that there are letters, but there is no E inside the letters of the grade, or E minus. I can't remember very well. So this thing has always seemed very strange to me, even though I've set it up many times. But the first question you have to ask about it is, do I create many profiles or just one profile and having the good grading for that specific profile? Those are questions that are very hard to answer. But on the Marketing Cloud on Core, you have the fit score, which basically is the same as the grading. By default, it's one of the individual should live in the US, but you can, of course, modify this. And you have the score. And then you decide for another whole metric what percentage of score and what percentage of fit I will the sum of both should be equal to 100, and then you calculate this new information. So a very powerful tool.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. And maybe taking a step back here, but when we're talking about Marketing Cloud on Core, what type of roles are involved in implementing this product? Asking you a leading question, I feel like I know the answer, but just for our audience, do we see consultants, admins, developers, architects? What type of people are involved with this kind of configuring and managing it, do you think? Yeah,
it's a very good question. I don't think you need developers. The setup itself is quite guided. It's kind of wizard, so it's basically not hard to go through all the steps. It becomes hard, and this is where I do believe you need a consultant whenever you have something not working as intended. For instance, I want to install my DMOs or GLOs in Data Cloud from Salesforce using data kits, and that does not work. That does not refreshes because the connector does not have that specific permission or permission set to it associated to it. So I think as of now, it's best to do the thing with a consultant. But there is something which, and this is related to the coming certification about the product. What I do believe is that in Pardot, you have Marketing Cloud account engagement specialist and consultant.
Yes.
There is no admin, even though managing the admin in Pardot is something very crucial, because the sync error, the connectors are most of the time what explains why the segmentation is not working as intended.
Yeah.
And so for Marketing Cloud on Core, I do believe there is a marketing certification. That is, I want to be able to make segmentation in Data Cloud, to craft beautiful emails, to stand them, to read the metrics around all this, to create engagement programs, which, as we've already said, are flows. But there is something which a new role, and this is not only related to Marketing Cloud on Core, because
Mm.
this is related to Data Cloud. Someone needs to handle the specifics of Data Cloud, to have it evolve. For instance, I want to create a new field. I create a new field in a standard object, for instance, let's say the prospect object we've talked about. How can I manage that specific field to be available for a segmentation? There are a lot of steps, and this requires
Mm.
to understand thoroughly how Data Cloud works, what are the mappings, what are identity resolution. And I'm not sure marketers needs to go in that detail. They should use the product, but something should be someone should administrate the whole thing for them, and this is especially true, I do believe, for Data Cloud. So to answer your question, for a setup, I think you need to have a CRM admin which wants to become a
Hmm.
Data Cloud admin, and marketers, and all those people will then go through the distinct steps, knowing that there is growth and advanced, which have not the same capabilities, and the setup is not really different, but there are more things in advance than you can find inside growth. So this needs to be taken care of during the setup.
Yeah.
But basically, my advice as it pertains to the setup of Marketing Cloud on Core is to have someone which will be responsible, which will be the product owner of Data Cloud later on.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And it's interesting, actually, you mentioned certifications there a little bit, because the Salesforce certifications haven't kind of caught up with this new product yet.
Mm.
Sure, you have the Pardot ones, you have the Data Cloud certifications, and you have the Exact Target certifications, but you don't have a certification yet on Marketing Cloud on Core. So maybe that's coming in the future. We'll have to
Yeah,
see.
it is.
Yeah.
It is definitely coming. But this is a product which is running really fast. I mean, the roadmap is evolving at such a pace that it's really impressive, as does Data Cloud, which does not really stick to the three
Mm.
release a year, but there is one release a week.
Yeah.
And in Marketing Cloud on Core, there are a lot of things that are coming. And so even the implementation guide has been broken for a while, because it's going so fast that the documentation itself cannot handle the rhythm.
Yeah.
And so I do believe this. I'm sure this will come.
Yeah. Awesome. And just out of curiosity now, when you're implementing a marketing solution, how much of this is Pardot account engagement, or how much of it is Marketing Cloud on Core?
You mean in duration?
No, like percentage. Are you doing mostly Pardot still,
Oh,
or are you doing on Core?
well, the agency was built on optimizing existing product users,
Right.
which is called Level Up. We are making some setup, but I'd say one out of five mission for us and for me is setting up from scratch a new implementation of Pardot, and the rest is helping already existing users to take the most out of the product.
Hmm.
This is very important because we are not doing as many setup as we are helping brands using already existing product. And as of now, um, I would say if we divide on a scale from 1 to 10, and 10 is 100% of our mission, I would say 20% of our mission is implementing a Marketing Cloud on core from scratch, and that time we are implementing it because there's
Hmm.
no point of optimizing Marketing Cloud on core because it's a very new product and no one has already used it so much
Yeah.
that there needs to be optimized. So I'd say one Marketing Cloud on core and four Pardot, but this is something which is very important, and this is actually a good question because, as you may know, every Pardot user has access for free to Marketing Cloud on core. The license is free, not the credits, but the license
Hmm.
is free. So you need to buy the credits. And this is very important because my advice is don't switch from Marketing Cloud account engagement to Marketing Cloud on core right now, unless you are doing very basic things and you can stand any more Pardot and you want to go to something else. In that case, that's legitimate. But if not, take time. Don't say in 2 months I will have a new product, because as we said, this product is evolving so fast. It would be really hard to work on an ongoing product. So my advice would be to keep Pardot as of now, to buy some credits, which will give you the ability to make several things. First, create a segmentation directly inside Data Cloud that you can send as dynamic lists inside Pardot, which is very handy because you have access to the whole data model. You don't need to create custom objects, and they are limited in the numbers, and you have to
Hmm.
have the right fields. Here you have access to all the information which is available, engagement profile and so on. And you can use it to create segments and then send them to Pardot. So this is very important. You can also send this to audiences on Meta or Google
Yeah.
or ads, which is very handy and very easy to use. If you remember from Pardot, we had to use Marketing Cloud engagement ads add-on and then
Yeah.
create a report and then a data extension. Well, it was quite quite hard to implement. Here from Data Cloud, you can send your audiences, so this is very important. And every information, every engagement from Pardot, even though the emails are not created with a shared builder, are ingested into Data Cloud. So you have access to all the information of what, and this participates to the score inside Marketing Cloud on Core,
Hmm.
which email has been opened and so on. So I'm saying this because what we are doing a lot is helping already existing products to have Marketing Cloud on core and to have them working together so that they can play with the artificial intelligence, they can play with the segmentation, and in that time they can transfer, because you can copy some assets from Pardot to an enhanced workspace that Marketing Cloud on
Hmm.
core will be able to access. And so we are making this a lot
Right.
because we are what we want to do is that Pardot users already have access with some credits, and so they can understand how credits works and so on, to Marketing Cloud on core, and for instance use them just to send SMS or WhatsApp messages, which is not that easy to do inside Pardot, and then use both, and from time they will transfer, but not brutally one day saying, well, I
Mm.
stop using Pardot and I will use Marketing Cloud on core. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I think something that's coming, I think, in this release in Pardot is WhatsApp.
Yeah,
So I'm guessing it's probably just the Marketing Cloud growth
yeah,
version of WhatsApp for Pardot
yeah.
users.
Sure. I did not have
Yeah.
the chance to see the feature, but I've seen that. Well, basically, this is the only feature, the only new feature you have in the roadmap for for Pardot, if I remember
Hmm.
correctly. There are not a lot of things, but that one maybe will be shared with Marketing Cloud on Core. You're correct in that.
Yeah, I would kind of expect it. So with with this product, right? How do you get your hands on it to play with it? Because I think that's really important with any new technology. I mean, I'm a learner by doing, right?
Yeah, sure.
So how can anybody listening to this get access to it, and who is eligible to get access to the product?
Well, once you've done the setup and you've activated the convergence between Pardot and Marketing Cloud on Core, well, anyway, you have a Marketing Cloud on Core. Your question
Hmm.
is, what do I start to do? Well, um, what I would recommend is to do the same thing that when you are using a marketing automation platform for the first time. Create a segment, create an email, send this email to that segment, and then watch the KPIs and the performances, because this is the very there are questions. Should we answer them now, or should I?
Let's finish this and
Yeah,
then we can.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll make it quick. I'd start to use data cloud segmentation, understand what unified individuals are. Uh, then when I have a segmentation, I publish that segment and use it in a campaign, because this is a whole new way of creating workflows. Those are actually Salesforce flows, marketing flows, but they are related and bound to campaigns. So you create a campaign, you create a segment triggered flow, you send the email, and you watch you watch sorry, using marketing cloud performance, you see how that works. Oh, sorry, hopefully I'm not dying.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So I think, yeah, we do have a couple of questions actually. So I'm going to show the first one. We can talk through this one. So this is somebody listening on Riverside. I'm a Pardot expert and have spent the past 4 months learning and exploring marketing cloud growth. I'm curious about the future of Pardot and marketing cloud core from marketing and consultant perspective. What are your thoughts? So ultimately, I guess, where does Salesforce seem to be going with this technology, and the comparison between this and Pardot? Like, I have
Well,
a view. I'll be curious to hear what
yeah,
your
yeah,
view
yeah.
is. Yeah.
But maybe you could you can make a reverse interview. Maybe you can share your view first.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So I think Salesforce have been quite clear that they're focusing on Marketing Cloud on Core with new features and functionality, and less so on Pardot. So we all know that Salesforce love Data Cloud and Agent Force, which is what powers Marketing Cloud on Core. So it certainly seems like the future, but right now both products are available in parallel. And also you have the ability to use some features in Marketing Cloud on Core within Pardot. So I think ultimately Salesforce will potentially continue to nudge people towards Marketing Cloud on Core, and we'll have to see what steps they take to do that in the future. What do you have to add, if anything?
Yeah, I think it's quite obvious that the future of marketing cloud account engagement is marketing cloud on core. What's not
Yeah,
obvious is the timing of this.
yeah,
But if you realize that to all product users, uh, growth have access to marketing cloud on core growth, and Pardot Plus and Advanced and Premium have access to marketing cloud advanced. If you install Foundation, which is free and which comes with some credits you can already play with, all this has been given as a strong signal of saying, well, you're
yeah.
using Pardot. Here is this new kid on the block. Maybe you could start talking to that guy and see how cool it is. Well, this is obvious that this is the future of marketing cloud or account engagement. And I think, and this is my personal opinion, that the
hmm
same is true for marketing cloud engagement.
Yeah,
I know there is SSGS, there is scripts, there are a lot of features which needs to be added so that it works. But for instance, the repeater is what will allow you uh, to create lists inside of email, dynamic lists. So it's coming. It's not ready, but it's coming. So this is just a question of timing. But at the end of the day, both platforms will be merged into only one platform, which will be called Marketing Cloud on Core, and at the end, Marketing Cloud.
yeah. Okay, awesome. I think we've got one last question, so let's
Mhm.
just run through this one, and maybe I'll try to answer, and we'll see we'll see
Yeah.
what you think of my answer. Any personalization languages like AmpScript in Marketing Cloud on Core? My short answer to this is there's not a direct equivalent, but you can create data graphs to personalize your emails with merge fields. Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah. Well, you have data graph, which is the interface to data cloud that is available inside the builder, the Lightning builder for all marketing cloud or marketing cloud on core. There is no equivalent to AMP script, but I'm not an AMP script expert, but I would say it is used in two main areas. The first one is merge field. I want to display something extracted out of information extracted out of a data extension, a single record, then I display it. But it's also used to make lists of things, querying the data extension and then displaying it and arranging the way
Yeah.
you wish. And this won't be done using code in Marketing Cloud on Core. This will be done using the repeaters. You will say, I have that given layout, which will be mapped, for instance, for an opportunity with the amount, the state, and the name of the related account. And I want to display this at most 4, for instance, inside that email. This is coming in Summer 25, and this is actually on basic use of AMP script, I think there is everything you need right now within repeaters and personalization as merge fields.
Okay, so you could potentially use repeaters for opportunity products.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
display whatever is related to who you're sending to, and
Okay.
more precisely to what's inside your data graph.
Right.
And so you can loop over your data graph and display it just the way you wish. Of course, I know some marketing cloud account engagement guys, as you and me
Mm.
seeing that the evolution will be marketing cloud on core. I'm not sure marketing cloud on engagement guys see that as clearly as we do,
Yeah.
but I'm quite sure that they will be given exactly as part of, they will be given access as marketing cloud on core with the new kid on the block thing, so they can play with it. I do believe this will be announced soon. And then when it is, there is no doubt anymore that the two products will converge to Marketing Cloud Core.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's see what the future holds for this very
Yeah, sure.
fast moving product. So we are at time for today's session, but before we do go, what's a way for people to connect with you? And are there particular resources that might help them learn more about
Yeah,
Marketing Cloud on Core that you would like to shout out?
yeah. Well, there are 4 things that are maybe important. If they are partners, they can go on the partner Slack. There is a dedicated Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced
Hmm.
channel in which I try to understand every question I see.
Yeah.
This is something we've talked with Tom earlier. My point of view is that answering hard question is what makes, at the end of the day, a better consultant. So I love answering hard questions because people get hard answers, and I do raise my knowledge doing this. So this is
Yeah.
very important. So the Slack and the Marketing Cloud Growth and Advanced channel into the partner, the Salesforce external partner, this is really a good place to go. This is the first place. I'm also a Medium writer, where I try
Okay.
to write a lot of articles. So maybe you can go there and try to see what I've written so far. LinkedIn. You were telling me that you were seeing my face
Yeah.
everywhere. So yeah, maybe LinkedIn is a good place to reach me whenever you want, direct message or just following or so on. And the last one, I've participated to a series of 7 webinars, which were presented by Claudia, Erin, and I, and which are very informative and which are stored into bootcamp. I think it's the name, MC Learning Camp. Yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
MC Learning Camp YouTube channel. You can go there, find MC Learning. This was an initiative from Gilda and Josna,
Yeah.
and I do believe that this is really, really interesting if you want to understand how the things work. So 4 ways: partner channel, Medium, LinkedIn, and that YouTube channel.
Okay. Awesome. Right. Well, there's lots of resources. And as I say, usually the resources I see are from you. So yeah, thanks for shouting those. out and for joining us for today's session. I think it's been great. I've learned a few new bits and pieces about Marketing Cloud on course. So thanks again for your time. And hopefully we will inspire some more people to
Yeah,
learn about this. So thanks again.
yeah, thank you.
Right.